My role in Habilitat right now as a staff member, first of all and foremost, is to uphold the standards and quality of sober living taught to me through Habilitat. Keep that going, pass it on to younger residents, use that in everyday life, whether it be here at Habilitat on the facility, out in the field on work, or at home. My role is to ensure that what I've been taught with Habilitat continues to happen and display those principles wherever I go. My work role here is we do remodeling for property management companies. We also do private renovations. We do woodwork. And my role, again, is to ensure the quality of work ethic and those things that we do in the field, and make sure the younger residents get pulled into that as they come up and get ready to go out into society and do what they have to do. Habilitat, to me, was a big scary monster that turned into a friend, you know? It was the last solution or the last option that I ever had planned to use. And although it came up many times in my past, I looked at doing time more than looked at doing Habilitat. That was then. Habilitat to me now, when I say it was the monster that turned into a friend, Habilitat to me now is family, it's friends, it's a new outlook on life, it's retaught structure, it's living principles and morals of life that are conducive with being positive in the community. Habilitat to me is like a healing place. Habilitat to me is a place that if it is given a chance and understood, and the willingness is there to do those things, give it a chance, understand it, it can bring people out of the mud, put them back on fertile ground. Habilitat to me, again, is a sacred place. And for some place that I'd never thought would be a part of my life in a long-term relationship, I'm now a staff member, and I know that Habilitat will be a part of my life for the rest of my life. Whenever I go off back, I always say I'm coming home. I'm headed back home. And I don't mean where I live, I refer to that as Habilitat. That's pretty much in a nutshell what Habilitat is to me now. I overcome a lot of blocked issues in my life. A lot of issues of accepting where I've been, accepting what I've done, and getting over that and starting to heal and to become somebody that could be trusted, depended on, and acceptable in society in a positive way. I've learned how to live again. I've learned how to believe that some of the beliefs that I had in life were not true, were very distorted. Habilitat put me in a position to realize those things. And through accepting where I was, Habilitat also taught me how to put the action and approach and remain willing to change all those things. Habilitat has taught me how to learn how to be patient, learn how to accept, learn how to be a friend, learn how to be a father, learn how to be a son, learn how to be an uncle again, learn how to be somebody in society that people don't walk away from. Habilitat has given me a shot at life again. I overcame a lot of anger. Understanding that drugs, anger, a lot of isolating, depression, all this kind of stuff. Understanding now in life that there's symptoms of bigger problems that now in life are a lot easier to handle because of being retaught. and how to structure every day-to-day living here. So I learned how to cope, give myself time. I've learned how to not set myself up for things that I usually would, whether it be with crime, drugs, peer pressures. Life is simple now. That's pretty much what I get out of it right now. Probably the most rewarding part about me staying here is that it's kind of a selfish thing. I stay plugged in and close to this part of my life, Habilitat, and that is rewarding a lot to me because it keeps me grounded, it keeps me around the right people, and overall I think some of the most rewarding stuff in my life has been restructuring and rebuilding my relationships with my family, especially my son, my mother, my nephews, my nieces. When I was 22 months in the program, my son suggested that I stay as long as I can because it was a good place for me to be. And coming from the wreckage of what he was used to in my life, and coming from a 14-year-old that could see the truth of what Habilitat was doing for me, that was a big gain for me too. And I appreciated the fact that at 14 years old, this young man told me with eyes of truth that this place was doing something for me that he could see. That was a very rewarding moment for me too, because within healing myself, I started to help heal others through what was happening through me. And I think that's rewarding for me. That's one of the biggest rewarding things for me, is watching the end result of time and work that I put into my day-to-day life come out full circle on the other side. This week, one of the most exciting things I did this week, amongst others, was I got back into training martial arts again. And it was nice because for a 41-year-old, stepping back into the arena of 20 to 25 average kids and some guys fighting professionally, it was a nice awakening for me to see where I'm at 41 years of age. I do believe that age is not a factor, but it was good to get back in there and start to get in condition and start to go through the whole mindset of what the balance is with mind, body, and spirit. Also, it was good for me to step my foot in there and see how some of these young kids are training, where their mind is at, because coming from the road I've come from and my history, there will be a time when I can input to them some of my experiences that could help them stay straight, which to me is important in that sport. So it was something that I really never saw myself doing per se, but you know what, being sober at 41 is good stuff. And amongst surfing and paddling and whatever else I do, I thought it was time to get back in on the mats and move around with some of these young guys. And it was refreshing because after one of the classes, one of the trainers came up to me and said, "You're not the average 41 years old. You're not the average 41-year-old." And inside my head, I was just kind of laughing because I said, you know what, I'm not. And I don't think that had anything to do with what my caliber or technique was. I think in a nutshell, it had everything to do with me showing up at 41 years old and believing it could be done.